welcome to Life with Mama Kay. This is my very first YouTube video that I'm going to be posting, so bear with me if I'm a little bit nervous. My very first guest today, which I'm honored to have here with me, is Cindy Carboni. She is a healthy life coach, and I've known her for several years, but we just recently started to connect in terms of talking about health and making the right food choices. And I'm going to actually have Cindy say a little bit about herself, but before that, I just wanted to point out because I just received this necklace from Andrea Earp Designs. It is an original piece, and it's one of her newer pieces that are just being launched this week. And I'm wearing one of her watches as a wrap watch, and I'll show some close-ups later on my Instagram page. But
I love this.
Thank you.
Love
It's
that.
very cute, isn't it? And you can wear it different
How it
lengths.
sits.
Yeah, and so Cindy is going to tell us a little bit about herself, and then we're going to actually make something together, which I'm quite excited about.
Yes. Like Netta said, my name is Cindy Carboni. I'm a healthy life coach, and my website is cindycarboni.com. And this is part of something called the Healthy Life Club. I run group coaching sessions for women. They're 5 weeks long, and they meet once a week at my house. And each time we meet, I do a food demonstration. So they get to try. It's always a plant-based food. They get to try a new food, and they get to make it with me. And then the final meeting that we have is culminated with a plant-based lunch. And I do like a sweet potato burger and a Greek salad, and there's a lot of fun. Essentially what my programs is they are education-based and mindset-based. There's actually an online portion to the program, and people do kind of their homework, and then we meet as a group and discuss it, and it's typically about 6 to 8 women in each group, which is fabulous because it's about a support system, accountability, and these women they're different ages, they have different age kids, some are divorced, some are not, and they all have different backgrounds, but they're kind of brought together on this common ground of, I want to be my best, I want to be my healthiest, I want to do things that I've always dreamed of, but I haven't been able to, get off the couch or whatever. And, it's about becoming our best selves. So there's much more to it than just food. There's a lot of mindset and, emotional things and all of that. So it's a lot of fun.
I think one of the things that stood out to me was the fact that, we're all at different parts in our lives. And some of us are happy with certain aspects of it, and some of us are not. So I love the way that this is catered to everybody, and you can kind of tweak it to work to what works for you.
Yes.
And it's not just one plan is for everyone across the board, but it's for each individual. You can tweak it to work for you. So that's great.
Yeah.
What are we making today? I'm so excited.
So in honor of Valentine's Day, we are making dark chocolate avocado mousse. It's from one of my favorite vegetarian cookbooks called Love and Lemons. I always say go onto loveandlemons.com, and she has tons of recipes that you can try before you buy this. Mm-hmm. And this is a beautiful cookbook. It's one of my favorites. It's often what I give for gifts with my groups.
And I'll put a link on how you can purchase one of these cookbooks as well, too.
Yes. So.
Okay. So let's check this out. What do we have going on behind you right now?
Okay. So right here we have the dark chocolate. So we have. I don't want to reach.
There you go.
It's really not 100%. It's this one.
Okay.
So you buy this. Everything I have here is from, if you're not local, you don't, but Central Market or Costco, actually, or I made it, which we'll get into that for a second. So 70% dark chocolate bar, 4-ounce bar, so wherever you shop. So that's one of the things.
And is everything organic or considered organic? Or are there certain things that you don't mind it not being organic?
The chocolate, I try to just find high quality chocolate,
okay.
And I didn't see a lot of organic options.
Okay.
And the avocados, I don't buy organic because they have a skin, so it's okay.
Okay.
I don't like the pesticides. I don't like supporting the whole chemical and pesticide spraying, but it's not always easy to find organic avocados, anyways.
But that's actually a good note to make. If you're not going to buy organic, it's because it has a skin.
A skin,
on it,
yeah,
and
that you peel and you don't consume the skin. So
Okay.
oranges, bananas, pineapples, things like that.
Okay, that's good
Anything.
to know.
Berries are, I always say, like the strawberry is probably the most important thing to buy organic.
Yeah.
Because strawberries, if you look at them, are almost porous. they almost like, they absorb
Yep.
chemicals.
I can see
Versus like a grape.
Yep.
You know, grape, you could like soak it in vinegar and water or whatever.
Gotcha.
Not that I recommend that, but I'm just saying strawberry is always, I never buy non-organic strawberries.
Okay, good to know.
So we're gonna start, it's very easy. So you have to have ripe avocados, and then 4 ounces of the baking chocolate, which is over here. This is our version of a double broiler. That's what they're called, right? Double
Yes.
broiler.
And we've just simmered some water, and we put a glass bowl where the glass bowl is not touching the water because we don't want the chocolate to burn. And we
'Cause
just
it
let
will.
it, exactly, and then we just let it melt slowly, and that's the key, and we just mix it every so often.
Yes.
Do you add anything to that chocolate once
No,
it's melted?
that will be added to
Okay.
this last.
Okay.
So I'm letting Netta tell me what's going on because I can't read without my glasses.
So we have the two.
And she's in denial about hers.
I am,
So.
so if you see me squint a little bit. I have 2 very ripe avocados. We talked about the 4 ounces of the baking chocolate. And then we have a 1/4 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, which we have over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with putting some of this in the bottom.
I need a 1/4 cup right there. I just find whenever I cook or bake or do whatever, for me, it's easier to just have my measuring spoons and cups in front of me rather than having to keep turning around and going to the drawer or the cabinet to try and get supplies. And I just keep the clean ones on the side, and then I'll use what I need, and then it's just easy to put everything back instead of having to pause to go figure out where everything is.
I do the same exact thing. And even better is to have ramekins and have everything
Exactly, pre-measured.
pre-measured.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the quarter cup, and I'm totally making a mess of your house.
Oh,
but
that's okay.
That's what we do, right?
Yeah, that's what we do. And then we also have 6 tablespoons of maple syrup as well too, and a 1/3 cup of almond milk.
Okay. So this is you can use any nut milk. This is the vegan version. So this is cashew milk that I made myself, which is another thing I do with my clients. On the first day of the Healthy Life Club, we actually do 3 things. We do cashew milk, which literally takes 2 seconds.
Right.
And we do this really yummy granola and muesli. So muesli is like I think it's Swedish. It's a cereal, and it's essentially the granola is the cooked version of the muesli. So it's all the same ingredients, so it just makes sense to do that. But it gives my clients a great breakfast, snack food for themselves as well as for their kids. Because my program is all about, it's not just about you or me.
Exactly.
As moms, it's about a healthy family. It's about us eating, not going on diets, but us eating healthy foods and having our kids eat the same foods.
Now, what do you do if you have someone in your family who has nut allergies instead of in place of the almond milk or the cashew milk?
Well, I would often say like a coconut milk, but then sometimes coconut is a problem. So
Okay.
it really depends on the types, the type of allergies. But you can do regular milk
Okay.
if you want to.
Okay.
How
And
much
we
was
need-
this again?
We need a 1/3 of a cup of the almond milk.
Okay. This is my favorite jar. I got it at Michael's.
Yeah, it's really cute.
Okay.
And then I can do the teaspoon of vanilla. Are we throwing
Okay.
all of this into?
Yeah, I'm
this?
gonna
Wow, that's
do
great.
the.
So this is kind of like a 1 bowl prep.
Yes, it's easy.
That's my kind of baking
Yeah.
cooking because it makes things so much easier.
This
And
is
less
where I get
cleanup,
messy.
too.
So these are cold, which you don't have to. I've had them in my fridge because they got ripe. Supposedly, if you put avocados, I see you have some there.
Yeah.
If you put them with bananas, supposedly it helps ripen them faster.
Oh, is that right?
I don't know if there's any scientific
I know mine are not
evidence
close
of
to right.
that.
That's why I put them out there, and when they start to get soft, I'll put them in the refrigerator. And should I just pour
Yeah,
this in
you
there
can
as
put
well
that
too? Okay, so I'm pouring 1/2 teaspoon of your vanilla extract in there, or maybe a little bit more.
You can add
The
what we just poured
the-
in too.
okay, and then I'm doing the 1/3 cup of the almond milk. I'm sorry,
Cashew
cashew milk.
I prefer cashew milk. It's a milder taste, and it's easier to make cashew milk than almond milk because the almond milk you need a nut bag. And a nut bag is like a strainer, and use the brown coating around the almonds. It won't look like that. It will kind of look gross. So you have to strain out that part. Whereas cashew milk, you just throw it. That's how it ends up. I didn't
Wow,
have to do anything.
I did not know that. Here is I'll get you a towel. You go
Okay.
ahead.
All right, I'm gonna add
There you go, my friend. And then you just added that quarter cup of the cocoa powder as
Yeah.
well.
Okay.
And then do we need to add this maple syrup in there now?
Yes, so here, wait, you did this?
Yep. So we're gonna do
A little bit of cinnamon too.
and you're gonna do a quarter teaspoon of cinnamon,
Yes.
and I am gonna do
Trust you that that's what that says.
and
Although
this
I'm
is-
not sure I should, since you told me you were.
No, I could see that one. And I'm going to do 6 tablespoons of maple syrup. And this is just the maple syrup you got from Costco?
Yes.
Is that what you did? Okay.
Yeah, that is organic and it's real maple syrup. You do not want Aunt Jemima. That's gross. It's not real. It's basically high fructose corn syrup.
And we know all about that. This is number
Yes.
4. Number 5. And number 6.
Now, some people, once we mix this all up, if you think your kids want it sweeter because there is a lot of dark chocolate in
Sure.
this, just add a little bit more maple syrup.
Okay.
So that's some people, cooking is new to them and it scares them, but I always say kind of have fun with it. I was never a good cook. My husband is half Italian, half Greek, and he grew up kind of all over the place. So, and his mom can cook and his sister can really cook. And so I'm not a natural. I'm a measurer.
Okay.
You know, he's a throw it all in type person. But I have come. So cooking wasn't something I loved. I wasn't comfortable in it, and that's always what it is. It's not that people don't like cooking, unless you don't like food, which there's very few people I've met that don't like food. I always say, look at cooking as an act of love, and also I've really used it as a kind of a creative outlet for me, because I'm so type A, which I know you are. I'm so type A, and I've wanted to break free of that. That's something I preach to my clients, to sort of find the balance in life. I'm a runner, all of that stuff, and I've wanted more balance, and so I've really tried to work on my own creativity, the right side of the brain thing. So I look at cooking as a way to be creative.
That's actually a really great way to look at it, because I think sometimes we put unnecessary pressure on ourselves to have this gourmet meal out, and it could look great, but it may not taste that as well. So I'd rather it be tasting a little bit better.
Yes. I don't make things pretty. Even my husband's like, oh yeah, you're not. He's the one in charge of making things pretty, which is kind of funny. My boys make fun of him. This is Himalayan sea salt, which is, don't buy regular salt, okay? Table salt is processed. It is white because all the nutrients have been ripped from it. I always say to people, salt in the sun have been demonized in our society, both of which are natural products. The sun specifically that's really the most bioavailable form of vitamin D that we can find as human beings. Sun gives every living thing on this planet life. So, but salt is the same way. If you think about it, your tears are salty, your sweat is salty. Our body is like 60% water, and it's salt water. So we need salt, it's just we need the right salts. So this is Himalayan, pink Himalayan salt, and it has over 81 minerals in it.
This
We're
is
lacking
so
in minerals
interesting,
too.
because I did not know that.
Yes.
And I will tell you, I'm guilty. I have regular salt in my house.
Yeah. I drink that salt.
Do you really?
I drink it.
This is very interesting.
So I'll drink a quarter. Now I don't eat a lot of processed foods and things, so I don't get a lot of bad salt in my diet. And I used to think, you're so brainwashed by this, oh, salt's bad. And then I just started reading about Himalayan salt, and it actually, the salt water will flush your system. And it helps with your electrolyte balance. So like runners and things, I always say with athletes, kids that are athletes, I always recommend to parents, okay, Gatorade and Powerade is garbage. It's literally garbage. And it is just nothing but sugar and water, and it's GMO, whatever. So if you really want an electrolyte replacement, which in Texas you need, if your kid's playing football in August with all that stuff on, you need it after about an hour, then make like a water and squeeze orange or lemon in it. You can put a little honey in it if they want it sweet, and put some Himalayan sea salt in it.
That is so interesting. And you said, how many minerals does it have?
Over 81.
That's incredible. Seriously, that is such a surprise for me. I did not know that.
Yeah. And what you, like, essentially you can tell because the salts come crystallized and they're a color. And I always say the hallmark of processing is to take the nutrients out of a food. And so Himalayan salt is mined, and it comes directly. And think about salt lamps. Think about all these things. I mean, everything we know about salt, when we really think about it, is healthy. It's part of our makeup.
Yeah.
Salt water. I grew up on the water.
Yeah.
And I'd get a cut, in the summer, and my mom would say, go into the salt water, and it would heal it. I mean,
That's so
everything we don't always think.
So now you put that in here because salt is supposed to enhance the flavor of
Yes,
the chocolate.
yeah.
Okay.
And you can put, if you like salty, you can do a little bit more, but everyone's had like those caramel
Gotcha.
little salt ones. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, do we have everything? Did I get
I
everything?
believe we do.
Okay.
We've got the avocados. We've got the baking chocolate. Are we doing that at the
Oh,
end?
no, we gotta do that.
Okay. I'll pull it off for you.
Okay, because
And
I
then
might burn
we will-
myself. And this Cuisinart is amazing. It is a 7-cup Cuisinart, and it's perfect for everything. I used to, yeah. I used to, I didn't have a I had a mini Cuisinart,
Okay.
which I think like everyone has, but it was useless. And I would go up the street every time I had the Healthy Life Club and was doing this dish to my friend, my neighbor, and get her 20-quart thing that she got for her wedding and never used. It was way in the top of her pantry.
That's so funny.
And finally I'm like, okay, I think I can like go and buy my own. But I didn't want a huge one. And
Yeah.
this one is perfect size, 7 cups. It's great for chopping and doing salsas and all those things.
That's perfect.
And I think it was like 80 bucks. All right, so it's all mixed together. And then this is all you do. Another great thing is that when you make a mousse or a pudding, at least I haven't done it in a long time, so what I remember though was having to put it in the fridge for a while so it kind of got hard.
This smells incredible. I just wish you could all smell this. It smells so
Yes,
good.
this really is good. And what I recommend, this is what I say to my clients when they come, I say, don't go home and make this.
Yeah.
Because then everyone goes, you're at your Healthy Life group today. What's in this? So you got to do it on a different day. You got to do it like when they're not expecting it. Here's what happened to me. So the first time I made it for my kids, they loved it. And then I posted it on Instagram. And I said something, not realizing that at the time he was 13. My 13-year-old had set me up on Instagram.
Oh, no.
And he was following me, and he comes downstairs. You didn't tell me there was avocado in that. And now they call it chocolate guacamole.
Oh, that is too funny. Let me get a bowl for you so we can kind of put this in here.
So it's beautiful. I mean, it looks just like a mousse. It tastes just like a
I'm
mousse.
going to do a clear one so we can all see this color.
I'm going to do a little bit more just because I can see some yellow.
Okay.
I mean, green
Avocado in
cheese.
there?
Yeah.
I'm so excited to taste this.
You
It
wouldn't.
smells so good.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know the difference. So avocado, most people know it's really healthy, good fats. I think it's actually a fruit.
I think I've read that somewhere that avocado is considered a fruit.
Yes. And this is just a treat, you know, and it doesn't have any sugar. The maple syrup is a great substitute for all sugars in baking and breads, things like that. There we go.
Okay, this looks so good.
And if you do get a Cuisinart, it is like dangerous.
The things you
the
can
sharp thing. No, I
yeah,
have
the
to.
blade?
Yeah, the blade. Now, if for whatever reason this seemed too, like I said, if it wasn't sweet enough, you add maple syrup. If it seemed too thick, you add a little bit more cashew milk or almond milk or whatever milk you're using.
Okay, this smells so good. I'm going to try this. Is that okay?
Of course. I told you I'm leaving it with you. I've had it so much.
Oh my,
You
don't-
wouldn't even know.
I would not know that there's avocado in here. It is delicious.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So this is so much healthier.
Yeah.
You're getting quite a bit of protein because of the avocado in there. You're getting good fat in there as well too. So
It's a good way to sneak in the avocado to your kids.
it is so good.
Especially for like babies, and not babies, but young kids, they wouldn't even know, you know, and it's a little treat instead of like a pudding pack or whatever. It's a nice, I always say, you know, as a healthy life coach, I love food and I love to eat and I want people to enjoy food. It shouldn't be like food becomes taboo.
Exactly.
And so, but it's know the difference. Like
Yeah.
make things from scratch so you know the ingredients and you can use the best ingredients.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm so glad you showed me this recipe because I'm definitely going to be making this. I'm going to be serving this for dessert tonight.
Yes.
And then I may make it again tomorrow for Valentine's Day since we're going to be staying home for Valentine's Day. We don't like to go out
Yeah, we don't
with the
either.
crowds. So I will be doing that. And I will be including the link on how you can get this cookbook, the Love and lemons cookbook, which lemons are just such a big theme right now.
Yeah.
And your apron as well
Yes,
too, which is so appropriate. And we're going to be, I'll include the link for that as well too. Check out the Instagram live story that will be coming up as well. And I will leave also Cindy's website as well so that you can check her out, because she's got some amazing information on her website. And I thank you so much for joining us today. Thanks,
Yes.
Cindy, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye.
Bye.